Hi my YouTube family, this is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. Welcome to Home Garden and Fashion. Today I'm going to do another purse video. This is a requested one. One of my subscriber and my purse viewer has requested me to show her another purse design. So today I'm going to do another purse. So this purse I'm doing from a napkin box. This is a box, napkin box. So what you do is you use one of these empty napkin holder, napkin box, and then you fold it like this, and once you fold it like this, it becomes like a, looks like a t-shirt, you see. And then you have to do is you have to cut off all these sides. So once we cut off all these sides, then I will show you what to do. So I cut off all the sides of this napkin box. Now I'm going to use it as a inside filler for the purse, because this will give a solid base for the purse. So what you need to do is, after you cut off all the sides, but you leave the joint here, just, you see, this is a napkin box and we just cut off all these sides, and now still it looks like a napkin box. Now you do like this, and now we're going to work with it. Now I have decorated my fabric, so you have to decorate your fabric the way you like. Now my fabric decoration, you see, I have this rhinestones. Let me show you the rhinestones I have used. These rhinestones are available at any arts and crafts store. So I have used in the center this rhinestone. Let me show you how you're going to do it. This is very easy. You put a large rhinestone. This is purple, so I use the similar color. You can do different color as well. So I'm using a purple rhinestone, big one. And then this is kind of like a purple and a blue mix. So I'm using this all surrounding. I have used eight of them surrounding. So you put like this, and first you put it and see how it looks, and after you like it, then you're going to glue. And I usually use the glitter glue fabric paint to glue, because it gives a shiny, glittery, golden or silver, whatever. I made this one with golden. You can do silver, because silver also looks very good with purple. So now you see I have 8 of these. Once you do that, then you use your glitter dimensional fabric paint, and you put a quite a big dot, and you push this rhinestone and press it down in use one of your tools. This is a empty paint container using as a tool. So you do that. After we are done with that, once you glue these things, and you can use hot glue if you feel like it, but I don't know if you can use hot glue on satin or silk fabric. That might ruin your fabric, that might shrink your fabric. So I might as well just go with this, because this is much safer, and it will also give a beautiful gold, silver or any other color trim. Now once we have done that, well, before we even did that, I added some pearls all surrounding. I added some pearls. You can do that, or you can just add this one, is your choice. With the pearls, it kind of looks nice. Now after that you're going to use these purple ones, and after you finish using purple ones, then you're going to use the white ones. So that's how we're gonna go around twice. So that's gonna make the flower big one. And for the little flowers, I have about 8 little flowers. What I have done is I use this purple, and I use this kind of like a diamond. I use those. So those I have used 7 surrounding, so all surrounding 7 of them. And then I added all these pearls. So I needed a one pearl necklace. I got it from a craft store, and then I used a big box of rhinestone, two boxes actually. One box was big rhinestone, and one box is a tiny little, from tiny little to this 1-inch size rhinestone. But this you don't need to use a lot, you're just making 2 flower, and so you have a lot of this left. This is how the flower turned out. So once you do this fabric, actually I didn't measure or anything, I measured the box, and this fabric is double. So once you double your fabric, then you stitch it in the middle. I just gave a simple stitch, and now after that you turn it around and check it, make sure it's all fine, same distance. Now you stitch the top and you stitch the bottom, and you're gonna measure this thing when you cut it. When you cut the fabric, you're gonna measure your napkin box, and you put the napkin box like this and you measure, and then you cut it. So this way you have this much. The top you have about 2 inches left, and the side you have very little, about 1/2 inches left, because you're gonna stitch it. Now top is the one you're gonna have 2 inches left, because you're gonna fold it inside and then stitch it with the box. Now let me show you. I have a viewer, she's mentioned that she doesn't know how to stitch, so this is for you. I will show you how to stitch. I did one side, now I'm going to do the another side. Now this is how you stitch. This one is little bit, you have to make sure your fabric is not too wrinkled, because you're making a purse and you want your fabric to look good. Now a fabric like this, you need to cut the side first before you stitch, because there will be a lot of thread coming up, and this is satin or silk always have this issue, the threads come out, so you need to stitch the side. Now this is how you're gonna stitch the side. You hold it, you have your needle and thread. At the end of the thread you put a knot so your thread doesn't come out, and then you put your needle like this and you stitch it. See, you going in, coming out, going in, coming out, there's nothing to it. And then pull your thread like this. So you see, you take your needle and you go in and you come out. This is just called basic running stitches, like this. So this is basic running stitches. In this one you're taking your needle and going in and coming out. So there's nothing much to it. Just take your needle, go in like this and come on out. Take your needle, go in and come on out. So this one we give both the side this plain stitch. Now once we have done that, then I'm going to move on to show you how we're going to stitch this fabric to the box. So we're done for this side. So let's go over. You have a fabric 2 inches bigger, 2 inches, 2 inches, 4 inches bigger than your original tissue box, and in the sides about 1/2 inches to 1 inch, both the sides together. So 1/2 inch this side, 1/2 inch that side. Now after you do that, you stitch in the center and keep this stitch in the back. After you do that, you have to stitch the top and the bottom. Once we have done that, then you get your empty napkin box, and so you figure out which one you want to do front and which one you want to do back. But I have the same design both the sides. Now when you decorate this fabric, how would you know where to decorate? First you have to lay, after you cut the fabric, you have to lay down the fabric like this, and you see where exactly you want to put your design and the flowers. Once you do that, then you use a chalk to mark exactly what places you want your flowers to be, and then that's how you decorate your flowers. And once you decorate it, you have to leave it for 3 hours to dry. Now you see we folded this. Now it's already beginning to look like a bag. So once you tuck in the fabric, see this is how the fabric is. You design the fabric and you keep it for 3 hours. It dries and you stitch both the sides of the fabric on the top, and now you lay it down like this, and then you're going to tuck it in like this, both the sides, and then you see how it looks, how it feels, and that's how you're gonna stitch it. But you're going to stitch it in a manner that it looks like a purse, and then we're gonna put the handles. So you see we tuck it in like this, but we cannot just stitch it like that. We have to stitch it such a way that it will be a beautiful design purse, and later on we're gonna make some designs on here so it doesn't look like that it's been stitched like this. So we're gonna make a design. So you make it like a shirt. Now let's get creative and try to stitch this. So as long as you make sure that you reach here and here. So we're going to stitch this one and this side first. So but while we stitch it, we have to make sure that it's not really bulgy looking. We have to make sure that it's kind of looks neat and they falls into the place wherever they're supposed to. So let's see, I'm going to stitch over here first, and then I'll come down and stitch this. Just I'm going to pinch here, so I know that. Go always have your needle and thread, and then do a knot in this one, and then go from the bottom, and this is gonna be all hand stitch. So I'm going from the bottom. So here's the stitch. You first take these two and make, when you pulling these two, make sure this is exactly right and this is tight. You don't want to pull it and leave it loose. So two things you have to make sure. Now make sure you go from inside and come out. Leave the knot inside. Now just a little stitch here, just to make sure we know where to start from. Now we tied it tiny little knot, couple of them here. Now once you do that, so you see I put a tiny little knot over here. Now once I did that, now I'm going to stitch this side, and this side I will put tiny little stitches. And since I'm putting these stitches on these stitches, I'm going to use rhinestone, because the last purse I used bead, but this purse is going to be rhinestone. I have some pearls in it, as you see, but that's all. It's gonna be all rhinestone. So like this, I'm just giving basic stitches, very basic stitches in the side. So you hold it and give a first just very fine basic stitch make sure that you stitch very fine, not long, and we are going to cover it, but still the finer it is, better it is. And this portion also, this portion is, remember the knot is in the edge. So now when you stitching, don't hold it like this, it might slide out the fabric. So you hold it like this and stitch. This is just the initial first stitch to hold it, and then we will do better stitches. Right now we just want to hold it in place. Now let me finish this one quickly. All the entire section I have to stitch. I'm not holding too up because my box will slide down from out of the fabric, so that's why I'm not holding too up like this. So I'm done this side. Now I will come back to this. This is just an initial stitch to put it in place. Now let's see where we are. You make sure that this stays in the corner, and this will go in. So this will go right on top of it. Now we do the other side. Now this fabric has gotten a little heavy because of all this rhinestone, so we need to make sure that we get the fabric stitched well. Now when you make it, make sure you don't give too much space in the side, because you don't want too much to hang outside. Now we're gonna do this, fold this. Okay, now it's the turn to do this side. This side will do the same thing. See the way we made the tight other side? This side we also gonna make it tight right here, and then we'll stitch the side. After you do that, then you will work with this fabric, putting it inside and stitching. So let's tie the knot, make sure it's just right. Tie the knot right here. So we're going to go from inside. Okay, so you stitch this corner like this, and now you want to make sure this fabric does not run away from this corner, so we're going to stitch the napkin box as well. So that way we make sure that our fabric does not move away from this location. You're stitching the fabric and the napkin box so you make sure you have yourself a sturdy needle. Now we did this corner, you see, this is the corner we stitch together. Now we're going to do the slow stitches like this in the sides. Now we're going to do the slow stitches. Now my one of my audience, you didn't say that you wanted to learn the sewing, so this is step-by-step sewing for you, dear. Now you see I pull it, and now first you do the fabric, then we'll try to stitch it little bit with the cardboard inside the empty napkin box. See, almost done. Now this part is just the getting the fabric. This is the what it is done. Now the major part is still we need to do. This is just stitching the fabric together. The main part will be when we have to stitch the fabric with the napkin box, because if you don't, the napkin box will begin to move. So we have to stitch it with the fabric. Now just going to, once you stitch one side, your second side becomes quite easy because your fabric is in place. Now about the flowers, you use your own imagination. I just used my imagination and made flowers. So if you still want me to show you, I will show you one flower. They're very easy, just you just use your imagination and know where to put the rhinestone, and that's it. So now this side I seal it up, and then see what we're going to do next. Okay, now we need to put this inside. They need to go inside nicely. So when you put this inside, make sure you do a design, nice design here, so you know how it went. So you see here I develop a good design. Do you see here? Now any extra thread or whatever, you cut it, and then you start stitching that top side. Now before you stitch, you make sure that you develop a good design for your purse. Now here it is. Now I'm trying to make it tight. Now you need to make it tight. You cannot have a loose purse because it won't look good. So here what I need to do is, first here I'm going to stitch. So I'll have the top done. So I have this, I went through inside because I want my knot to be inside. Now you see, you just give simple, very simple basic stitches. So this is, I'm just sealing the top. See, sealing the top. Now when you seal the top, you see how I made the top, tuck in and make the top really nice looking. So this is how you're gonna seal it. So you see how it become beautiful. So this is how you're gonna do the top. When you do it, make sure your stitches are very tiny, and even though we are going to do another design on top of it, but I want to make sure the stitches are very fine stitches. Now we're done here one side. Now we're going to do the same with the other side. First you're gonna tuck it in and create a design, and then you stitch. So you see how this design is done. So is the side. Now I'm going to put something in the side, put something on the top. This is just to show you the basic. Now you tuck it in as much as you can. So when you stitch, make sure things are really tucked in. If they are not tucked in, they're loose, they're not going to look like a purse. So we make sure they're very well tucked in. Now we're going to work on this top and make it look exactly like the other side. So let me work on this. We tuck in as much as we can, and then we pick up both the top side like this, and then we're going to stitch it, but we tuck in as much as we can, and we hold these two and stitch it. Okay, one side is beautifully stitched. This is the second side. Now you go from inside here. Once you go from inside here, then you make sure you cover the entire napkin box. You cannot make a purse with the napkin box sewing, so the napkin box has to be covered with your beautiful satin or silk fabric. So now you give these tiny little stitches here. You fill it in like this. Now once we are done with this both two sides, then we're going to move on to the center, and center is your most work, because that is the place you need to make sure that stitch right, make sure that it's tight, because if it's not tight, then it's not a purse. It has to be tight. So you do your decor first, measure the napkin box and cut your fabric. Keep 4 inches, 2 inches on top, 2 inches at the bottom, sides from ½ inches to 1 inch, both the side together like that, and then you decorate the fabric, keep it for 2 hours to dry, then wrap the fabric around and do the stitches the way I show you. First the sides, then go on top, and make sure the top looks good before you stitch. And once it looks good, then you start stitching the top. And once we are done with the top, then we're going to go inside. So I am going to keep my needle and thread over here. Now you see how it looks like a purse. Now your job is to tuck it in very well tucked in. Now once we get the very well tucked in, then we'll start stitching. But when you tucking it in, feel it, make sure it's tight, make sure it really looks like a purse. Now after you have done that, see how it's tight and looks like a purse, one side so far. Then you take your needle and it's like a wave going down. You go down, then we can come around to the front. So you see, okay, now we are coming down. So all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a knot here and end it and start over. Okay, now let's see, I'm going to tighten it. So how we tighten, we put our hand inside and we tighten this product as much as we can, because we do not want this loose skin here. Okay, so now you go through the inside box. I need a sturdy needle. Needle sturdy is very important because you're stitching two things at a time. Now you see, I'm just putting my stitches because I know I am going to use something to cover these stitches. I'm not going to leave these stitches bare. So I'm just going to be free and use the stitches right now. So make sure you get your big needle. I got this one tiny needle poking me all over. You get yourself a big needle. So this is how you stitch. You see, this making this horse. Now you see the stitches, there's nothing to it here. You just go in and come on out and make it like a t-shirt. Okay, this is just the neck of the t-shirt. Pretend as if this is the neck of the t-shirt. Now I'm not going to bore you with this. I will go around the same stitch and then I'll meet you in a second. So after you stitch all the fabric, so you see all the fabric is stitched now and it looks like a purse. You will have this inside, this bulge of fabric. Now you need to work with it, so you fold this fabric inside nicely, very nicely, and then you bring it out here, up here, all the way up, and then you're going to give another stitch inside. So you hold it and give a stitch inside, and same thing you do for the other side. So you see, when you open like this, you see your napkin box inside, but it doesn't get closed with this fabric. That's one thing. Or you can leave this fabric like this, and we are going to add couple of snap button into this fabric, so it stays inside like lock. So it's your choice. Either you can fold the fabric completely and stitch it and have it open, and then you use two snap button like snap, or you can leave the fabric like this, just work with the fabric little bit so that it looks pretty, and then it closes like this, and you still need couple of glue, couple of snap buttons here. So you see, we have ourselves a purse. Now what I'm going to do, the last thing is I'm going to put two beautiful handles. I'm going to make the handles and show it to you how I did it. So right now you see we have a structure of a pretty purse, and this whole thing is done with the napkin, empty napkin box, and then you have your satin. This is a satin, silk satin fabric decorated with pretty rhinestones. All these rhinestones are yellow, light yellow color, like diamond color, and light purple color. That's all. And then I have used this glitter dimensional fabric paint to glue all this thing, all the rhinestone. And I have used some fine quality pearl beads. This is also, I got it from the craft store, but these beads are little bit good quality because these are for making your pearl necklace. So I use one necklace equal to one necklace bead. So I give some beads surrounding here, and then I use some all around it. So now we're done with this purse, and I'm going to do some extra work, and then I'll show you. Now let me tell you what are the extra work I'm planning to do. I am going to stitch this side with another kind of lace or something. So some kind of pretty look I want to give in this side. Now for this side, after I do that, I'm going to stitch some kind of beads or something to give it a beautiful look. Now the second thing, I'm going to work on this inside fabric. So fold it little bit, put some snap buttons. That's the. Now the third thing, you see I have these stitches, so I'm going to put something over here to cover these stitches. And the fourth thing is I'm going to put two pretty handles. So once I'm done with those, I'll come back and show you. But stitching is pretty much done. I just have to give the touch-ups all around to make it look a little bit more prettier. And once I finish, I'm going to come and explain it to you what I did. So but the basic structure, you see, you have the basic structure now for a pretty party purse. Now this is going to be with one of my sari which I'm going to decorate, and once I do that, I will share with you the whole sari decoration idea. So let me go and finish decorating this one, and I'll come back and show you how the results. And I'll try to post this video tonight. I don't know how long it will take me to dry this after I finish the touch-up. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll come back and give you the updates. Thank you. I'm using this for the sides, this kind of stitch to seal up the sides. You see, going through the side and actually sealing up the sides. This is my second time. First time I went this straight, and the second time is the sealing up the edges. And then I will put some kind of decoration in this so that this one, all the edges will be sealed very well. So you see, this is kind of sealing all the edges. So you go around and both the side like this, you give the stitch and seal your edges. So you see, this is how it's done. You take your needle and go through this side and come out, and you're sealing the edges. After we do that, then I'll see what I can put in the sides. Now we're going to make the handles for this purse. How we made the handle, I made the handle for this purse is sewing some fabric. So how did I do that? Let me show you. I did like this, one fold and the second fold, and then this is the third fold, and then with the third fold you do a fourth fold. So this is how I did the handles for the purse. Now you can iron this, that will be, it will be easy for you to stitch. So let me show you this is how I folded and then gave simple basic stitch, and this bottom part also I had to fold. Now after this I will use it in this belt. See in the sides, I'm going to stitch the sides like this. Now one time I have given a running stitch to hold the fabric. Now the second time I'm doing sort of like hem, see, like this, and getting these two sides together in a more representable manner, so I don't just stitch. like this. Now this one, this middle thread, if I do not take it out, I will put something in it to cover it, like this. See, like this. So I'm stitching the sides. As you stitch the side, you can cut off the middle, like this. You can cut off the middle side. So you see, middle we have this thread which I did the just basic plain stitch. I'm taking it off, but I should have taken it off after I have done the sides, but it's okay. I'll just hold tight and give it tight. Now when you're doing this stitch, you have to give a very tight stitch. You don't want to give a loose stitch like this. You give it very tight stitch. You see, so you see we are done with this one, and I'm gonna make the another one, and I see you in 5 minutes. So I have stitched a handle, and like this you're gonna stitch another handle. There's nothing much to it. The way I show you is fold this fabric and few times, make like little tiny little like this. Few times you fold the fabric, and then after that you stitch it like this, little bit leaving outside. This one double folded, and you measure it, and similarly you make another one. So we'll have two, and this is a beautiful purse. But I am not done yet, because I want to put some more this kind of white rhinestone all around. Tiny little ones in the hair, tiny little ones are here. And when it's done, I will give you the picture of the final one. But this right now is pretty much done, a beautiful purse. But I would like to give some more, little bit more definition, little bit more finishing touch, and hopefully I'll be able to upload tonight. But I have to do the finishing touch and let it dry. So let's see what happens. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please do go to my Facebook fan page, and I'll leave a link, and please give me some likes so I can change the name of the Facebook fan page. I thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel, and I thank you to everybody for your time for watching my videos. I'll be bringing many more videos. I'm just a little busy right now, but I will try my best to post at least 2 videos every week. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Bye bye. And I'll give a final picture how the purse turned out. If you have any question, please feel free to email me. Will be more than happy to help you. Thank you. Bye bye. Hi, so I finished the purse as it turned out like this. You see, previously I had only this flower and all these pearls and these 4 flowers, and then I added the handle. And now, as I mentioned, that I'm going to be adding some rhinestone in the side where I had the stitches, so I added all the rhinestones on both the sides. And then I put these 2 handles on the purse. These are for holding, and these 2 handles I added 2 big rhinestones, purple color big rhinestones. So I have a big one here in the center, this flower surrounding, and I have 2 big ones here and 2 big ones here. This side I added 2 rhinestones, and this side there will be a little snap so I'll be adding a snap button just to close it. So inside of the purse you see like this, and then the fabric is here. So this fabric kind of makes a design to close the purse. Now only thing left is to either glue a velcro inside or add a snap button. And here I also added 2 rhinestones, and the button will be inside here. And if you wish, you can here you can add 2 more rhinestones. So this purse really turned out gorgeous. I wanted to share with you how it turned out at the end, and I hope you like it. So please give a thumbs up if you like it, and please like and subscribe. And I'll be making a couple of more purses, but not right away. Maybe few other videos of decorating sari and salwar kurta and dupatta, and also I'll be making some videos on my garden. So I will get back to the first video probably a month later. And thank you so much. I enjoyed making about 5 purses. Don't forget to watch them all and learn. And if you do bake it, please go to my Facebook fan page and post it there. I would love to see your creation. And please do go to my Facebook fan page and give me a like. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a great day. Enjoy the 5th video on the purse. Bye.